Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another The Sports 2 video. Today, I know we're playing into a bit of the rumors. Russell Wilson will most likely not be traded, but today, me and Serge are going to analyze the four teams that he could potentially go to. He said he wants to stay with the Seahawks. He just wants an offensive line, but he has stated the four teams that he may want to go to, and we're going to rank them starting from four, going to the best team. So if you enjoy that, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and let's get straight into it. Serge, who do you think is the worst team? Who do you think what team makes the least sense for him to go to?
Well, I don't think it's less for me as who it makes the least sense of to, what more of who at the same time, what team literally won't get him. Definitely not, no matter what. While this would be a nice destination, the Saints are not going to get him. There's no chance. They are 100 million, I think, still below the cap. They need to make severe cuts, and they can't be even if Russell Wilson won't cost as much compared to how the quarterback market is continuing to inflate. It still just doesn't make sense to pay a top 10 quarterback that salary when you have so much money that you need to cut in order to pay your rookie quarterbacks, your rookie players in the draft. So in my opinion, the Saints would be a nice destination, but there's literally zero chance, in my opinion, that he goes to New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, they literally have the least amount of cap space in the NFL right now. I know I might be really stupid for saying this. Has Drew Brees officially said he's going to retire?
No, he hasn't yet.
Yeah, so
Hasn't said
I
he's gonna
think
retire.
there's because he's still under contract. So I think they are restructuring his contract to save
Yeah, like
money.
I
So
think
that I
like between
again,
like
that's
0
but again, yeah, they don't have money. I think they will offload a ton of free agents. So I'm assuming next year they'll have money. But again, Russ in his prime, I don't know if the Saints. It would kind of be like a whoa, like Russ to the Saints, like that was kind of unexpected. Obviously, you have James Winston, who's a free agent, who I think they should resign, and then maybe give him a shot for a year. And then I mean, again, who knows? Maybe they trade up, get someone in the draft. I mean, I think there's better options. Obviously, Russ is an amazing option, but you have to think outside of talent, like money wise, and how you have to pay, as you said, rookies and other needs, because you need more than just a quarterback. And the Saints are going to lose a lot of players. Trey Hendrickson, Will or not Williamson. Williams or safety, like they're going to lose a ton of players. So I think that they need to kind of assess other options. But on to our number three team. And this one, I feel like this one's a good because this one could either be one or not good at all, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. And the only reason I would say they're three is because of how much me and Serge like Dak Prescott. Serge, you think that's fair evaluation? We like Dak Prescott.
I do like
Um,
Dak Prescott. I
I'm
think
a
he's a
I'm a
great
Giants fan. I like Dak
quarterback.
Prescott. Here's a thing why I think the Cowboys could be a sleeper to get him if Russ were to get traded. Dak wants top three QB money. He wants Rodgers, Mahomes money. He wants 35 million a year, which I think is a bit too much for Dak. He's a good quarterback. He's not an elite Super Bowl winning quarterback yet. Wilson is an automatic upgrade and cheaper. Jerry Jones is 78. You could jump at this deal and immediately be Super Bowl contenders with the players you have coming back. You could trade Dak and a first round pick, and the Seahawks would be happy because you get a younger quarterback and Carroll and their owner, who is the old GM's wife, not wife, daughter. And she's not as much of a football focused person. Whereas who's the old GM? He passed away for the Seahawks. I know he was very, spent money, went out, was aggressive, really cared about the game of football. And I think that's why this deal will most likely not go through, because I don't think Pete Carroll wants to rebuild right now. And I think if Russell will to go, I think Carroll knows enough that they would probably be pretty bad. And I think the Cowboys want to stick with Dak as long as the contract's right.
Yeah, I think if the Seahawks do trade Russ to the Cowboys, which in my opinion is unlikely, I
Mm,
think really the only way that happens is if Dak is included in the deal. And
right.
I think honestly, even if it may make sense on on a level, considering that maybe both teams have different directions of when they want to win, at the same time, it just for me, it just kind of doesn't. It seems too big to be true. Like you never see like two top 10 quarterbacks get traded for one another, especially when each team is not like it's not like one team's like gonna go full rebuild mode and the other team's ready to win a Super Bowl. They're both kind of on similar platforms. So it's a trade for two
Right.
very different quarterbacks, especially in terms of age. It doesn't really make sense. That being said, I still think the Cowboys do have a better chance than the Saints. I
Right.
think the top two destinations, well, obviously Seattle's number one. But if he is traded, which again is probably unlikely, I think the top two destinations that we are about to go to are the only ones that, in my opinion, he potentially does go to.
All right, that was well said. Let's get on to the number 2 destination, which is the Chicago Bears. Right now, Chicago are kind of desperate, and I think they didn't jump at chances that they should have. Stafford, they should have. And again, I know the Lions probably wouldn't have traded him within division. I think Wentz was in their arms. I really don't know how Chicago didn't get him. They let him go to the Colts. And Trubisky is not the option. We've known that. We've been saying that basically since last year. And again, there's a stat where Trubisky hasn't thrown a pick six in his career. That's a good. I mean, if you're a Chicago fan, it's pretty good. But I don't think Russ will go here because it's not that I don't think they will go here. I think they're two because they have money and they have a championship level defense that can carry them. And they have, if they re-sign Robinson, I think that team would be good, and I think that they can contend with the Packers, and that's the problem right now. The Bears are a quarterback away from contending for their division. Trubisky will not take you past Aaron Rodgers, at least right now, until maybe Jordan Love goes in and Rodgers retires, which probably won't be for the next 5 years, 4 years. And right now, if Russell Wilson were to go on the market and I'm the Chicago Bears, I could give up a decent amount to get him. I mean, if you're the Bears, I would give up Khalil Mack. I mean, Mack wasn't amazing this year. And I don't know. I mean, the Bears, I think, have more money, and I think I think they could pay him more. I think money wise, they just fit because they probably have a bit more money, and defensively, they're much better than the Cowboys and the Saints. But again, it's just right now, I'm not a massive fan of Chicago getting him, but
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I like the Chicago Bears, and I think they are definitely a potential suitor for Russ. Again, if he is traded, I think again you have that really good defense. Although it seems like they're starting to see cracks, especially considering we're seeing players like Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks getting older and older, so we don't know how much longer they can stay at the top for. I think the main issue though here is again, Allen Robinson, we don't know if he's staying. I doubt he is.
I
I
doubt
mean,
he is. Yeah.
maybe if Russ isn't traded before Allen Robinson leaves, then I think
Within the next like 17
yeah,
days.
if he isn't traded without in the next 17 days, Allen Robinson's definitely gone if he doesn't go to the Bears because Allen Robinson wants to play for a good quarterback for once in his career. Like he's played for the Jaguars and the Bears, and no offense to those franchises, but they're not exactly a quarterback ripe franchises. So
Mhm.
I think unless I don't know if they get Russ, and I don't know if Russ, I don't really understand. I mean, I know the Bears are a decent team, but even if they do get a quarterback, how close really are they to contending for a Super Bowl? And I feel like the team that's number one, which you probably would have guessed if you knew the four teams, I feel like maybe they're not contenders right away, but I feel like they're really on the right track.
But yeah, so that team, as you probably
Mhm.
saw by the thumbnail, we did not clickbait, is the Las Vegas Raiders. The reason for this is, Serge, I want to let you go first because we talked about it, and the Raiders I do like, but I think it could change up. But Serge, why do you like the Raiders?
I think I think it's really close. I think it could be 1A and 1B between the Raiders and the Bears in terms
Mhm.
of combining the good fit with the likeliness of him going to each team. But I think one of the main factors that contributes to the Raiders being number one is that it doesn't seem like the Raiders are really that interested in keeping Derek Carr. You've had some rumors that maybe they're gonna try and go all in for Deshaun Watson. Maybe they're gonna try and go for Matthew Stafford, which didn't work. I mean, they don't seem perfectly content with Derek Carr. Maybe that now they want to make that big splash. And the Raiders are really that underrated team that they have solid pieces. They have Henry Ruggs, who in my opinion could take a leap in year two. You have Josh Jacobs, one of the most underrated running backs, and I think top 20 running back right now, probably will be top 10 in the
Top
future.
10, I would say top 10,
Maybe top
yeah.
10 now.
Mhm.
Darren Waller, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. I think he's close with Kittle and Kelsey. He's not up there yet, but he's getting there. And I think the defense obviously needs to be helped, but there are weapons on offense. And I feel like I don't know if maybe it's just me, but I think Russ wants to go to a team that maybe has like the a good weapons. And I know the Bears, they have a good defense, but they don't have that offensive weapons that, in my opinion, the Raiders have, and especially that they will have in the future. And I think again, combine that with the fact again, I don't know how interested the Raiders are in keeping Derek Carr. I feel like again, it's unlikely that he gets traded, but I feel like the Raiders would be the best and most likely destination for Russell Wilson here.
Yeah, and so I'm right now, actually, I'm gonna switch. I think the Cowboys for me right now would be my number one destination. But Raiders wise, I do like the fit. The reason I think it might not be the best fit is Gruden's been a 500 coach throughout his whole career. He's better on TV than he is at actually coaching football.
Oh, that's not
Um,
nice.
I mean, he'll be signed to NBC when he's done coaching, but he's never been an amazing coach. I mean, he's the only coach who hasn't had, who's had 500, or he's had a not winning record and has kept his job. So obviously the Raiders won't move off of him, but Ruggs was really shaky. Maybe he takes a leap. Waller is the best, not receive. He's the best adjustable player at a wide receiver position. He's like Kyle Pitts. We compared to him a lot, just a mismatch wherever he goes. He played wide receiver, switched to tight end, big guy. I think Russ could, play very well. But right now they don't have a great offensive line. They don't have an amazing coach. They're in a division again, which I think the Raiders, why they would really go out is because you're not going to beat Patrick Mahomes with Carr. Here's the thing. I do like Carr because I think he's a great decision maker. And I think he's really underrated. I think he's been consistently a top 12 quarterback. But right now with the Raiders, I don't think it's the best fit. I think, again, like we've seen from Wentz and Stafford, moving him to a team where it's maybe Washington or a team that's not contending, because Washington aren't really contending, but a team that is better than the Raiders. It makes more sense because Carr kind of isn't at he's at the back end of his career, but at the beginning of the back end. And Russ goes into Raiders, goes to Las Vegas, and kind of because obviously you have Herbert and Mahomes. You have Herbert, who is incredible arm talent, Mahomes, incredible arm talent, both young quarterbacks. You're not going to do anything with Wilson. And I think not with Wilson, with Carr. So I think if you bring in Wilson, it makes him contender. So I think they might spend a lot and overpay for Wilson. But why I like the Cowboys, because I think they can give Dak, and then you have Wilson with a plethora of receivers and a defense that can be good and a good head coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the Raiders, I think they're actually not too bad in terms of offensive line, because you look at the how many sacks they gave up, the 9th least sacks allowed per game, which again isn't as good as New Orleans, but then again, New
we saw
Orleans
Russell
really
in
can't
Seattle.
afford it.
Yeah.
We saw Russell Wilson in Seattle. I mean, I'm not saying Las Vegas have a really good offensive line, but I still think it's significantly better than Seattle. And combine that with the weapons, it's not the most repulsive destination. I think it's actually a very solid one. So that's my reason why, number one, I think they don't really have any weaknesses on offense. That defense has to be rebuilt, has to get a lot better. We'll see where they go from there on that side of the ball. But offensively, I think it's a very appealing destination for us, especially considering we look at the state of the other 3 teams around them, and they all have flaws. Let's be real here. But I think the Raiders combine them with that team interest with could they afford him? Then I think Raiders make sense for number 1. But that's it for the video. Remember, if you enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think of the video. What do you want to see next? We do all sorts of content here, NFL related, off season, predictions for the NFL season, draft. We do it all. So if you love sports, if you love NFL, subscribe to us. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Thank you guys. See you next time.